Hello, I'm Sally. I'm so glad you clicked on the video. Welcome to Sally Chats. I have a few uh, moments alone tonight. The kids and the grandbabies are out, so I try to take advantage of the quiet when I can. I thought tonight we would chat about not only the emotional um, outcome of being a widow, but the physical, because I don't know when it dawned on me how tired I was, but when my husband was diagnosed with cancer, that began the greatest emotional and stressful journey of our life. I can only imagine how stressful it must have been to him. And as his spouse, knowing what, unless God intervened, knowing what was going to take place and what the future held for him, it was an overwhelming emotional stress. So for 3 years, I tried to stay upbeat. I tried to believe for his healing and his overcoming the cancer, but it was not meant to be. But when he finally passed, I was so tired, so emotionally tired and physically tired. He, the last year and a half, 18 months of his life, he wanted to go everywhere. He wanted to see things he'd never seen, the Statue of Liberty. And, we had been to many places before, but he wanted to go to some of those places again. And so we did that. But I was very tired, and I did that willingly. But I can't say I didn't complain a little bit about how tired I was. But after he passed away, we had to get through Christmas because he passed away on Thanksgiving night. We had to get through Christmas that year. And I put up a very small tree. It wasn't much, The kids came, the grandbabies came to be with me. But my youngest son and his wife wanted me to come to their house to move in with them. And at the time, they were living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Very small apartment. And I thought, yes, I can do this. I don't need to be alone. So I made the move. I moved in with them, and I had my twin bed. And the girls had bunk beds, so my twin bed was in their room. And the only real privacy that I would have alone, where I could cry and grieve alone, was during the day. They would, try to keep the girls playing in the living room, which was just on the other side of the wall. I can remember going outside on their little patio area to cry or get in the shower, and I could cry. But I didn't want to upset the babies, and the youngest one was only 3 at the time. That's my little Ellie. she is my little Shih Tzu. She's 5 years old, but she's a big baby. She's letting me know she wants some more food. That's what you're hearing, the rattling. But I would go in the shower, and I would just sob. And after a while, I was so overwhelmed because I could not grieve like I needed to grieve. And so I made the decision, I've got to go back to my house. I had not sold the house or anything. I didn't really know at that point what I was going to do. But I called my oldest son. I didn't even have my own vehicle at the time. And my husband's truck was the only vehicle we had. And he had just gotten it. And the note was like $700 something, and I couldn't afford that. So I just called them, and they came and got it. And it wasn't in my name, so it didn't affect me in any way. But they were very kind about it and came and got it. But I just knew I had to get out of there so I could grieve. And so I called my oldest son. He came and picked me up. And, I packed what little things I had at their apartment and moved back to my house. And at that point, I had sold just about everything or given away everything. So I went to a little furniture store, and I was able to get a recliner, a little sofa, and just little by little, I picked up stuff Facebook Marketplace and just got the necessities that I needed to live. And of course, I already had, appliances was in the house and all. I didn't have to worry about that. But anyway, long story short, I spent 6 months alone in that house, and it was the best thing in the world for me. I cried. If I wanted to cry at the top of my lungs, I did. I was able to grieve the way I needed to grieve. That is so important. If you are living with someone and you don't have another option right now, and you're just in the beginning of your grief journey, it's very intense right now, and I know that. If you can't do anything else but get in your vehicle, if you have one, and go somewhere so you can cry as loud as you need to. If you can't do that, if you have to go walk in the woods somewhere, you got to grieve. You have got to get that crying out that helps so much. But I tried so hard to keep my house, but I just could not. I could not afford it. And we didn't have insurance, so life insurance. So that made it difficult for me. Who knew that, he was going to die so young? He was only 57, and we thought we had 40 years ahead of us, But anyway, I was so tired from the grief, from the stress. Anyway, I did move back in with the kids, and at that time they had bought a house, and that was so much better. I was able to have a private bedroom. And I talked about that, I think, in the video that I made last night. But now I live in this little suite at the front of the house. They've bought another house. Oh, it's so much better. I have my own bathroom, my own bedroom. The bathroom is not in the bedroom like a master suite would be, but it is right outside the door. And this is my end of the house, I guess you'd say. They do have an office, right nearby, but they're not in there all the time. But anyway, I have privacy. I have fixed this up, to feel like it's my own little home. And that helps me so much. But the stress on a woman's body when she has lost her spouse is unbelievable. You will feel exhausted, and that's okay. You may feel fatigued. You may just feel like you just sleep all the time. It's so weird. I would sleep and sleep and sleep. And then at night, of course, it's like you get your sleep cycle messed up. But even on the nights that I would sleep 6-7 hours, fitfully probably, but it was like the next day I would still sleep every time I got still. Just this past 3 months, I'm going to tell you, this is how hard grief is, because I had to go through the season of the holidays, which was, he died on Thanksgiving, and then we had to get through Christmas, and then my anniversary is coming up on January 5th. It's just bam, bam, bam. And when the grief got so intense at the beginning of November, my body started feeling so fatigued. And even this past 2 weeks, it's like I would sit down. If I wasn't up busy doing something, if I would sit down, I would fall asleep. It's like the exhaustion. It's like I needed rest, because it's so strange. You can work all day and feel tired, but you don't fall asleep as soon as you sit down. But because you are in grief, the grief is so taxing on our bodies that it is a normal thing. I was reading about it today, and I thought, well, that makes sense, because here I am so exhausted lately. I've had so many health issues since he died that all of that is part of the stress that's on a widow's body, and I'm sure a widower too. But if you are going through fatigue and tiredness, treat yourself kindly. Rest, sleep. I was feeling so guilty about sleeping all the time. I thought, my family is going to think I'm just a big lazy bum in here. But I couldn't help it. It is just part of the process. If you are feeling guilty because you don't feel productive anymore, no. Brain fog during grief is so real. Widow fog is so real. I struggle for words sometimes. Somebody will ask me, where did y'all go? And I'm like, where did we go? It's like, I feel like, sometimes, is something wrong? Am I getting Alzheimer's? That's not it. It's the widow fog. It's an intense stress that plays a part of our neurological system. Our physical bodies are stressed just as well as the emotional stress. And it's not an easy thing to go through, but the main gist of what I'm trying to get across tonight is it's okay. Go ahead and let yourself rest. Go ahead and let yourself sleep. If your body needs sleep, and you excuse me, you may be thinking, I've already slept. I don't need any more sleep. What's going on? Your body needs sleep. It is stressed. Let it sleep. And just go with the flow. Go with the flow. If you wake up one day and you're feeling sad, if you try to override that sadness, you will just be a basket case. Just, recognize you're feeling sad. If you can pick up something, I have branched out into art. I'm a children's book author. That's a whole nother story about how Amazon took my children's books down, and I can't seem to get them to put them back up. And so I've lost all that. So I'm going to go through another publishing when I get back in the mood. I had so many children's books, and if I had not purchased them, I wouldn't have any of them. But I have to keep myself busy as much as I can. And the writing was what I did as soon as my husband had passed, and I went back to the house. After I moved in with the kids in the apartment, I went back to the house. That's when I started writing the children's books. I started it out because I wanted to write a book for my grandbabies. And so that's how it just went from there. And I just kept writing. I didn't have anything else to do. I had been a very busy pastor's wife, and then he got sick, and then, my life was full. But then all of a sudden, the only thing I had was grief. And so that's when I started trying to keep myself busy by writing. And then after that happened, I was so discouraged after, I lost all my books on Amazon, that I didn't want to write children's books anymore. I was just so devastated, which I'm sure I will again. I can publish through another avenue. But then I picked up my iPad one day, Procreate, the art app. Oh my goodness, it has been wonderful. I just picked it up, and I just began to learn as much as I could about art, and I started watching videos, and I just started drawing as much as I could. And I'll just show you a quick gallery pic of some of my artwork that I just started, learning as much as I could. And I've never been able to draw much of anything, but I'm still in the learning process. And it has filled hours and hours. And I post them on Facebook, and it's just something that brings me joy. And of course, I sew. I have sewn children's clothing for many years and sold them through Facebook app. And I just got burnt out. I tried to pick it back up, and it's just so hard, because sometimes the heart just can't bear to do the things that you were active and busy doing when your loved one was with you. The whole time he was sick, he would say, don't change your life. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're just going to carry on. And that's what I did. But, now I look back on it, and I'm thinking, all those hours I spent sewing, I could have been, laughing and spending time with him. But, we can't look back. We can't. Regret does not help anybody. He didn't want me to do that. He wanted me to do the things that I was used to doing. And of course, we spent so much time traveling too. So it's not like we didn't spend any time together. If you are struggling tonight with wondering when you're going to feel better, you're tired, you're fatigued, please be encouraged. I want to encourage you. I want to encourage myself. and others like us that, we're going to get over the worst of the fatigue and the tiredness and the weariness. There was a period when I told a friend of mine, I am so tired of pain, emotional pain. And I'm just so tired of hurting. I want to not hurt anymore. In my mind, it was like, I want him to be here so I won't hurt anymore. But, that cannot be. So we have to learn that eventually it's not going to hurt as bad. I know that getting over the loss of someone that you are in love with, you don't truly ever get over it, but you do begin to walk with it in a way that you can bear it. And there's days that you don't have to carry that heavy, heavy burden anymore. And I know that's coming from me. I can tell the difference this past year in the way I was able to cope with things. And so I know that is a step in the right direction. It just, when the holidays hit, that's tough for everyone anyway. So, but be encouraged tonight and know that I'm thinking of you and I care and I'm concerned. If you would like to reach out to me, please do. You can comment on this video. You can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. If you would like to befriend me, my name is Sally Motes, Motes, and it's Sally with an IE. So I am so thankful that you clicked on this video, and I pray that I said maybe one thing that encouraged you a little bit or has given you a little bit of insight that it's okay, that it's going to get better, and being tired and sleeping, it's all part of the process. So until next time, be blessed.